It should come up any moment. There it is. And for those of you, as I mentioned at the beginning, for those of you that may not be able to stay for the entire duration of the session, or a team member of yours maybe was not able to make it, you can have the recording. So feel free just to send me a quick email and let me know that you were a part of the session. I will include my email for those of you that might not have it right here in the chat. You can send me a quick email just so I know that I'm not missing anyone. And I will send you a recording as soon as this session is complete. All right, so let's start the session. So I'm actually going to begin by showing you what you should have already received in your inbox. For those of you who have not received it, let me know. So you will see this, your portal invite. It will come into your inbox. You sit next, you click join portal. I'm going to unshare and reshare once again so you could see what I'm talking about. Okay, so once you accept the invitation that came to your inbox, it will take you to this page where you can either sign up if you haven't signed up already, or you can simply click log in. And from there, if you have already logged in, you will enter in your password. Uh-oh, wait a minute. Let's try this again. Give me just a second. Okay. And from there, it will take you to the home page of your exhibitor portal. So for the purpose of this session, I'm using Emacs. Emacs's booth, which is one of our virtual, one of our sponsors for the virtual show. So once you sign into your sponsor and exhibitor portal, it will take you to the home page where you will see your name. And then next it will take you to tasks, everything that we need for you to do. So starting at the very beginning, you will see the product category that best fits your company. You will be able to upload your booth's banner image. We're going to talk about that in just a moment. Entering your company description, headshots. Now, something that's really important for me to note in regards to the headshots. I've been receiving some of your headshots and contact information. Thank you for that. But for this, I will also need for you to include the email address of the person, whichever team member you're submitting their headshot and contact information. So yes, so I will need their headshot, their contact information, so their job title and their email. And from there, I can upload them to your virtual booth. Next, we have the resources, which I will show you in just a second what it will look like for an attendee that is viewing your virtual booth on the front end. And then this is more geared towards our sponsors in regards to our track sponsorship branding. Next, we have the resources tab. So this is something that my team members and we are constantly adding more information for you because we want to make sure that you have a seamless experience exhibiting with us at our show and sponsoring our show. So first we have the exhibitor kit and resource page, where if you click this, it will take you to your exhibitor kit with all of the information that is necessary for you and for the show. Following this, we have the digital sustainability tips. We have the best practices checklist for virtual exhibits. And I love the subtitle that says making the most of your investment by nurturing happy customers. That's what we're all about over here. We have the quick tech check that I sent in the chat. We have the attendee troubleshooting guide, the third-party cookie guide. We have a training video. So everything that I've been sharing, everything that I am sharing at the moment with you, it will be available here via this YouTube link, and you will also have the recording from the session for you to be able to refer back to at your earliest convenience. And then next we have the Greenbuild traffic driving ideas with how to drive more traffic to your booth. Following this, we have the company profile portion of your virtual booth, where this will be the description that you will send over. I'll need two descriptions from you. One that you will have at the very beginning of your virtual booth, just a short blurb. We describe it as more of an elevator pitch, short, sweet, to the point. that lets attendees know who you are and gets them excited to meet you. And then this is more of a longer description that tells the attendee what your company is about, how long you've been around, and why you are so good at doing what you do. And then from there, once you go to your company profile page, if you scroll down, you will see where you can enter right here, enter your virtual room. So I will take you there in just a second. And then next we have the Teams portion where you can invite members of your team to be able to access the back end of your virtual booth. So as you can see, I am a temporary member of Emacs for the purpose of this session, but this is where you will be able to add team members. So yes, oh, I'm sorry. Hi.
Playing with it. You had the answer. All right, cool.
Sorry, I can't hear you very well. Would you mind repeating that?
Sounds good, thanks.
Okay. Okay. Well, actually, on that note, if anyone has any questions, they can put it in the chat and communicate with me there, or you can speak out. I also just want to encourage everyone just to mute their microphones, and I will continue the session. Okay. So this is what your portal will actually look like. So again, you have the home, you have your tasks, you have resources, company profile, and team. Another thing I wanted to mention with the tasks portion is once you upload it, it will send to me and I will approve it, and then I will upload it for you to your virtual booth, and it will show here submitted. And then from there, I will send it to you and you can preview. You can let me know thumbs up, thumbs down, and we can go from there. So once you upload it, you will not see it on the front end of your virtual booth right away. It needs to come to me first for approval, and then we go from there. Okay, so that shows you what your portal looks like. I'm going to unshare my page. I see a question here. Okay. Once we add team members, can they access the portal and add documents on our behalf? Yes, they can. Do we need to add each staff member who will be on virtually during event days? Yes. Yes, you do. This is great. So anyone that has any further questions, you can include them here in the chat, or you can speak up. I have some items on the portal that are stuck and not approved, but aren't complete. Can we get this updated so we don't get alerts on complete items? Yes. So I've been getting a whole bunch of different uploads and submissions, which is awesome. Thank you to all of you who are submitting. So I've been making my way through that. But Heidi, I have been working on your booth, and I think you're good to go, but I will just check again and confirm just so that you won't receive any more alerts on any additional items. All right, so now, no problem. Now I'm going to take you to what the back end of your virtual booth looks like. So bear with me, we're going to go there in just a second. Okay, I'm seeing another question. If we have people who will work the booth during Expo, do we register them as admins or collaborates? They're there. Oh, register them as admins. Yes, so that's the only way that they'll be able to access the back end of your virtual booth. Okay, everyone, so now I'm going to take you to the virtual session in the back end of your virtual booth. So give me just a second. Let me share my screen. Okay. Okay, now I'm going to share my screen with all of you. Can everyone see? Let me know if you can't see my screen. No? Can't?
Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. Thank you, thank you. All right, So welcome to the back end of your virtual booth. So I showed you what your portal looks like. Once you receive the invitation, you click join portal, you sign up, you log on. And from there, once you click on company profile to be able to access the back end of your virtual booth, it will take you here. So this greenish teal screen, this is what is known as the presentation stage of your virtual booth. So this is where you will be. And an attendee that is on the front end, I will show you the front end of your virtual booth in just a second. This is where they will be able to see you, where you will be able to interact with them and communicate. So if you go to the left-hand side of your screen, the left-hand side of my screen rather, this is where you will see the video camera or the microphone. So if I wanted to be able to communicate, let's say this is my virtual booth and I'm communicating with an attendee, I simply activate. So remember to click activate and something should appear in just a moment. Hi, this is where an attendee will be able to see and where I can communicate with them. Hopefully the sun won't be like blocking you on the day that you are trying to communicate with your attendees. But this is where an attendee will be able to see you and you can communicate with them and interact. So remember to click live, but we're going to talk about that in just a moment. So first things first, you click your video camera and you click the microphone, and that is where you can interact with your attendees. Next, we have files. So this is where you will upload for the back end of your virtual booth. So for the portal that I was showing you, that is where you will submit files to into your Bizzabo portal, and it will send an alert to me for me to add to the front end of your virtual booth. This part, this whole virtual booth, this is your oyster to be able to add and upload as you please. And I don't have anything to do with this. This is all you, everything that you feel will add to and enhance your virtual booth. We encourage you to go for it. So you simply upload the file by clicking add file. And whatever file comes up that you decide to upload. And then once you do so, you simply click add to playlist and it will be there in your virtual booth, ready for whenever an attendee is ready to head into your virtual booth and see more about what your company is about. So I'm going to show you what the playlist portion looks like in just a moment. Next, we have the apps. So this is one of my favorite things because there's still a little kid in me. So this is the whiteboard where you can draw, you can write something if you so please, and this will be seen on the front end of your virtual booth. Next, and if you want to get rid of anything or if you want to clear this board, you simply click clear this board and it removes it easily so that you can start over again if you so please. Next, we have the desktop share. So if you want to, for example, show your attendee a YouTube link that pertains to what you're talking about, this is where you would go. So in the same way that I'm sharing my screen with you, you can also do that with your attendees. Next, we have the quizzes portion. So I'm going to, so from here, if you simply want to create a quiz, you simply enter the quiz name, you type in the question, you can make it multiple choice, you can make it multiple answers, open question. Again, as I mentioned earlier, this is your oyster. You can do whatever you so please. So just going really quickly back to the quiz portion. So here's a quiz that one of my coworkers created. So what is today? Obviously, this was not done for today. I hope we all know that today is Thursday. But yeah, so you can choose whichever quiz you want and an attendee can participate. And then once you receive all of the answers that you were looking for, you simply click end quiz and that's it. And it keeps it exciting, it keeps it interactive with your attendees. Next, we have the video library. So whatever videos you decide to upload will be stored here, and an attendee will be able to see it and access the videos. Next, we have the recording portion of it. If you would like to record your session, do keep in mind that with Bizzabo, recording takes about, I would say about 3 minutes to begin. So bear with Bizzabo in that regard, but after 3 minutes is done, you should be good to go. And then next we have the breakout room. So this is where once participants are in your virtual booth, let's say in room 1 you're talking about flooring, in room 2 you're talking about solar energy or what have you. If you have someone on your team that is talking about flooring in room 1 and an attendee walks in and wants to talk about flooring, you can drag, and obviously there isn't a participant here, but if there were, I would be able to drag their name and add them to room 1, and they would be able to communicate with someone on your team from there. Something that we recommend and encourage is that you keep someone here in this teal screen space. So let's say I wander in as an attendee and I have a question and someone from your team is there, and I say, oh, I want to talk about, let's see, building. Then if you know that you have someone in room 3 that is talking about building, then you can place me, that person can auto assign me to room 3 where I can communicate with that person. So I think this is super cool, very cool feature. And then once the breakout rooms are over, where if the attendee wants to talk about a particular subject or thing, and then once that's done, you simply close out of it and they're automatically rejoined to the larger group where they can interact with not only you, but with everyone else. Next, we have the chat feature. So as you can see, I was already in here a couple of days ago playing around. So this is where the room chat. So on the front end, an attendee, if they have a question, if they have something that they want to say, if they want to respond to something else that an attendee has said, this is where the room can communicate. Everyone that is in your virtual booth can communicate via this room chat. Next, we have a Q&A portion where, let's say an attendee is shy and they may not want to ask their question in front of everyone else. This is where they can type in a question and only you on the back end can see the question that they are talking about or referring to, and you can answer either live or you can type back to them via right here. And then next we have the moderator chat. If you and your team members want to communicate with each other, let's say I, as the attendee, I walk in and I have a question, right here in this very last bar with the star, you can communicate with your team. Okay, well, why don't we talk to April about this? And you can collaborate and team build. And I think it's also another really, really cool feature. Next, we have the playlist. So remember when I mentioned adding files and videos? So here we are. So once you upload a video or a PowerPoint, this is what, if I were the attendee, this is what I would be able to see on the front end of your virtual booth. You can upload PowerPoints. You can upload, again, here's another quick video. My coworker uploaded a picture of her adorable baby. So you can, this is entirely yours. You can upload as you please, and it will show on the front end of your virtual booth. Now, something else that's really important to note, we recommend using just a simple standard 16.9 PowerPoint file. Let's say you have to go to the bathroom, you got to walk the dog. Virtual exhaustion is real, and we here at Greenbuild understand that. And we also encourage you to take a break and to take some time just to rest if necessary. The only thing that we ask is that you are present during the expo hall hours, and that is in your that's in your exhibitor kit, where it shows all of the hours that we recommend that you are in your virtual booth, or at least someone from your team is in your virtual booth in case an attendee walks in. It's time for networking. But otherwise, during conference sessions or so, if you need to step away, just please put a holding slide that says, we've stepped away, but please feel free to contact us at such and such email or such and such number, just so an attendee doesn't feel like they missed you. They get to contact you in some way, shape, or form. And then lastly, before I get to any questions that may be in the chat, we have the notes feature. So if you would like to broadcast a note so that attendees on the front can type this. If an attendee can read this, I'd be very worried because I don't know what this says. But if I were to broadcast this, this is what would be able to be seen on the front end of my virtual booth, and they would be able to read it. But if you don't want to broadcast it, you would simply go back and it will be here, note 1, note 2, and it will only be something that you and your team can see. But remember, if you want it to be visible to the front end side of your virtual booth for attendees to see, you simply click broadcast note and it will be visible from there. So that is explaining the back end of your virtual booth. Now I want to open up the floor for any questions. Does anyone, thank you, Lauren, for stepping in and answering some questions. Does anyone have any questions? You can unmute, and I'm here to answer whatever questions you may have. Tammy, I'm seeing your question. So you can't access the back end until you approve the front end. No, you can access the back end of your virtual booth once you receive that invitation and you sign up or log in. You can absolutely access the back end by simply clicking, by simply going to, you either sign up or log in from that portal invite that I showed everyone at the beginning of this session, and then you go from there, and then you simply go to company profile, scroll down, and I'll show you just so you can see what I'm talking about. Give me just a moment. Okay, so from here, if everyone can see, once you've signed up or logged in, then from there, you simply go to company profile, you scroll down and enter virtual room. And that's where you will be able to access everything that I was showing you on the back end of your virtual booth. Tammy, does that answer your question? That isn't showing on our company profile. Okay, we can actually take this offline, so I could definitely help you with this and make sure that that's all taken care of for you. So yes, definitely, we can absolutely figure this out together. Does anyone have any other questions that they would like answered this moment?
April, can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Is there a frequently asked questions area?
A frequently asked questions. Yes, I believe, let me see. I can actually find it for you, but we do have a section where just the most commonly asked questions are there. So give me just a moment and I will be able to find it for you after this session.
Well, I meant for our customers on our booth, on the front side of our booth.
Oh, okay. No, we don't have that as of yet. It's as far as I know, Lauren, please correct me if I'm wrong. We don't have that as far as I know at the moment. I believe that we just kind of leave it open to whatever question the attendee might want to ask in that moment.
Yeah, there's no actual designated FAQ section on the front end of the booth. You are free to add something as a resource to your specific booth. There is a help desk, general help desk for help for attendees on the site that they can visit for general FAQs, but specific to booths, no, there's not.
Okay, no problem. Thanks.
Looks like somebody has their hand up. Who's this?
Steph.
Go ahead, Steph.
I just have a quick question. So on the back end of the booth, on the files section, those files are the ones we upload on the portal under the booth resources, are the same files?
No, they're actually, they don't have to be the same. They can be. So the booth resources that you're uploading to the portal, we will take and put on the front end of your booth. They will live at the bottom section of your booth page. They can be accessed at any time by any attendee when they click into your booth. The files you upload on the back end are files that you'd like to show live during exhibit hours when your booth is live. So anything that you upload to the back end can be broadcasted onto that screen and showed to attendees live during exhibit hours. Does that make
perfect.
sense?
And is there a limit on how many files we can upload on the back end?
No, as of now, we haven't found a limit. We've uploaded I'm going to say I've done about 15, a dozen to 15 so far, and they seem to be fine.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you.
Yep.
Does anyone have any further questions? I see Heidi, your hand is up. How can we help?
I just was wondering a little bit more about the breakout rooms. Right now we have plenty of our regional sales directors who will be participating, and you mentioned having one person kind of be the liaison that helps with the flow of traffic. Do you recommend just having one room set up per staff member?
I think it's entirely up to you. We found a lot of success in just having someone that is available in each breakout room to be able to speak about whatever given topic the attendee might want to speak about in that moment. But again, it is totally up to you, whatever you and your team decide works best for that day.
That might make most sense, Heidi, to have designated, Joe goes to room 1, Dave goes to room 2, Michelle goes to room 3, so that your staff at least knows their designation. It might just make it easier for you organizationally.
Okay. Yeah, and that's kind of what I was wondering, to see if so many people, trying to jump on all the same questions and whatnot. And then I just had one other question for you guys. On my sponsored session, it says that our virtual booth for our company is specifically Tuesday, November 10th from 10 to 5.
Oh, yes. So that is only because, each day we have it live for that day. So because we're gearing up for the show beginning November 10th, I have it set up that that your booth will go live on that day from that time to that time. And then once the show is over on that particular day, then I'll go back and I'll update it to show November 11th, 10 to 5. So that's something that I just have to manually do for each day, but you are all set for November 10th through the 12th.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you.
No problem. No problem. All right. So if anyone has any further questions, you can include it in the chat. Lauren and I are here for you, and Eric as well. And now I'm just going to show you what the front end of your virtual booth will look like. So give me just a second. Okay. Awesome. So here we are on the front end of a virtual booth. I'm using one of our sponsors, virtual booth. So this is Anderson. So whenever you see a pesky little email from me asking about your background booth banner image, this is what I'm talking about. I know it looks a bit small. That's because I've zoomed out at the moment, but it also depends on your laptop or computer size in terms of how it will look in terms of the layout of it. But we recommend for your booth background banner image to be about 1280 width by 400 in height. So this is where you will upload that on the back end of your portal, and I will upload it for you so that attendees will be able to see on the front end. So we recommend that you either use a still image, like a color like this, or that you use, it could be an image of buildings or what have you. We don't really recommend using your logo because it can get cut off or it cannot be seen as clearly. But yeah, so that's just something really important to note. And next we're going to go to this portion. So this is where I'm going to see, give me just a second. It's getting, give me one moment and let me see if I can zoom in for you a little bit more. Okay, we're back in business, folks. All right. So this is where you will see the date. As Heidi just mentioned, this is where the date will be present for attendees to see when you will be available and in your booth, when your booth will go live. So the date is here and the time, the title, virtual booth whatever your company is. And then this is the short elevator pitch that I was talking about, where it's short, sweet, to the point, tells the attendees who you are, gets them excited to meet you. And in this portion, you can include a link to your company website. And so from here, if I were an attendee, I'd be able to click into it and be able to see your company website and what you do and what you're about. Now here we are, the product categories. Remember when I said at the beginning to upload your product categories into the back end of your virtual booth, and I'll approve it and I will update your booth for you. So let's say I, as the attendee, I wanted to learn a bit more about architectural design services, and we have a search tab that our attendees can use on the website. I would simply type in architectural design services, boom, Andersen windows and doors would come up. So be sure to click the product categories that, one, are the allotted amount that you receive in your contract, and two, best fit your company. And then here, this is where attendees will be able to see you. So because Andersen isn't live right now, I can't give you a live and in-person look, but this is where an attendee will be able to see you. If I were on the back end of Andersen, I'd be able to communicate and to communicate with attendees from there. And then this portion right here is where the chat portion would be. So the room chat and the Q&A portion. So there is a little keyboard where attendees can type in their question. Well, obviously they can use the keyboard on their computer and they can type in their question and you can answer it. You and your team can answer it from there and make it very interactive and engaging, which we encourage. Next, here's the speakers and staff. So this is where you would upload your headshots. I mentioned email because email is very important for me to add while I'm adding the members of your staff to your virtual booth, but their email is not visible here just for privacy purposes. But this is where they'll be able to see the name, they'll be able to see the title of what each person in your virtual booth has and does. And then next we have the larger company description. As you can see, there is the website here, but remember, if you include something for here, attendees will not be able to click it here. As you can see, it's not clickable from this point. It's only available for them to be able to click and go into another website at the very, very top. So please keep that in mind. And then next we have the content hub. So all of the resources that Lauren just mentioned, she was able to upload up to 15 resources. This is where you can submit it. So after you've uploaded the first 6 that I know are in your virtual booth, otherwise, if you want to upload any more, you can send them to me and I will upload it for you. To add to your virtual booth.
I'm gonna make a correction, Mary. Sorry. So,
Sure.
so for this section, the front end, it is 6 as your maximum. For the back end, you can upload as many as you want.
Okay. Yep. Okay. Thank you, Lauren. Thank you for clarifying. So yeah, so here it's 6, and then for, as Lauren just mentioned, for the back end, it's up to 15. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention, actually, no, I think I got everything here. So this is what the front end of your virtual booth will look like. So I want to open up the floor for any questions that anyone might have. Can I have staff practice using the breakout rooms before the event? Sure, absolutely. Right.
The only thing with that, Heidi, is unfortunately we cannot grant you access to the front end as an attendee. It has to do with registration and access control. So you won't be able to necessarily break people out because you won't have attendees. We're trying to figure out a way to get you all test access. It's just difficult with the platform. So stay tuned on that. We may be able to open booths up. We probably will be able to open booths up earlier the morning of the event to give you a couple hours before anybody, is allowed access. We just, we're having a hard time figuring out how to get you that test access on the front end.
Okay. Lauren, I'm thinking with that, and I would love to hear your feedback. If, let's say, if Heidi or if anyone else wanted to test it out, I could pretend to be a participant or an attendee, if need be, just so they can kind of get an idea of dragging and dropping a participant. So I'm happy, so happy just to come alongside anyone during this process, just to make sure that you fully get the hang of it, if that helps. So I hope that answers your question. Steph, can we see the front end of your booth? Yes. So once you upload and upload your resources, your headshots, all of that stuff, I will upload it for you, and then I will send you a preview of what your virtual booth looks like. So I'm your girl, just to be able to let you see what the attendee will see so far. Of course, of course. Does anyone have any other questions at the moment? Or is there anything that anyone would like for me to go over again while we're here on the phone?
Maybe I have one quick question. You had mentioned on the description at the top, it was supposed to be kind of an introductory description and below the staff section. Maybe editing it to make one more in depth so it's not redundant.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So if I'm understanding correctly, because your voice is breaking out here and there, if you wanted to just have something short and sweet, like the elevator pitch up here, and then have something a bit more in depth, what you're asking, so it's not the same thing?
Yes, right. I think now is the same in both locations.
Okay. Sorry, Heidi, you're breaking up a little bit. I don't know if you could write your question in the chat the way I can hear you. Oh, yes, you think, yeah. So it's entirely up to you if you want to be able to change it and to have something shorter up at the top and longer at the bottom, so that it's not redundant or repetitive. I am so happy just to be able to update it for you and send you a preview.
And just so you know, the description that is on screen right now, the bottom one, is actually the first description that people are going to see. So April, I don't know, can you click into the exhibit hall at all from here, or is it not live yet?
Let me see. Let me know if you can see this.
Yeah, it's okay. So if you click on a booth.
Yeah. Here we go.
This pop-up box is actually that bottom description in the booth itself. So this is the first description that people will see before entering your booth. It's a pop-up window. It's a small little description. And then once they see this, they click on the green button, and that takes them directly into the booth where they'll see, I guess, a more in-depth description of your company or anything you would like to include there.
Yes. So as Lauren just mentioned, we just clicked into UL. Here's another one of our sponsors and another virtual booth. So from there, once they click into the company description that we just saw in the virtual expo hall, it will take them to your virtual booth from there. So Heidi, I hope that answers your question. Steph, I'm seeing your question. Can we schedule a live demo and attendees to see and get it at that specific time? I'm actually thinking, I'm leaning more towards that we're more leaning towards making your booth go live the day of the actual show, once the show is live. But I'm, again, more than happy just to walk you through a one-on-one. And as I mentioned to Heidi before, to pretend to be an attendee, so that you can get an idea of what it's like.
Steph, was that your question, or were you asking about conducting a live demonstration inside your booth during the event and having a
conducting a live demo? Like, for example, I'm going to schedule a demo for, I don't know, the 11th at 12 p.m. Yes. So if people go on our booth on the first day, they will see, okay, tomorrow they're going to have a live demo of their product at 12, so I'm going to schedule it and get in.
Yes, absolutely. And we encourage you to do so. And we'll actually have a page, a what's happening in the Expo Hall page, that we can actually publish that for you.
Okay,
So
wonderful.
that was actually going to be a good segue into me reminding everybody to really take advantage of the open hours when their core sessions are not taking place, and pre-schedule something in your booth. And then we can publish it on our events page so that people know what's going on and where. And if you're interested in doing that, we have a quick form we can send over to you. You can fill out and it'll populate so that we can publish it for you.
Wonderful. Thank you so much.
We have a list of, if you're looking for traffic drivers or different ideas, we have a list of those that maybe will spark some interest as well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Awesome. Does anyone have any other questions? Okay, I'm gonna take that as that we're good to go. But again, I'm here for you. Lauren is here for you. Eric, we're all here. So please don't hesitate just to send me an email. How do we talk offline? Email me. Email me. My number is also in my signature. So feel free to call me as well. I have a call in a few minutes, but I'm so happy to schedule a call with you if that is something that you'd like to do, Tammy, and we can just go from there. But yes, thank you, Lauren. Thank you. Always having my back. Thank you so much. But if anyone doesn't have any further questions, I will send out this recording at some point today as soon as it becomes available. And yeah, just let me know if there's anything else I can help with. I'm also happy to do a one-on-one session if need be, just to make sure that you are fully familiar with your virtual booth and it's a seamless experience for you, which is our end goal. So with that said, thank you, everyone. Thank you and good afternoon. And I will be here next week, Thursday, same time, same place. Okay. Thanks, everyone. Bye.
Hey, Richard.